Okay, sorry guys. I had an emergency with my eye, so I had an eye appointment this morning. I apologize for not being here again. So once again, I have to push back the simulation because it's hard to do when I'm not here. So here's your task for today. You should already be finishing up on the navigation acts. Okay, I will check this doc tomorrow. This is either going to affect your grade if it is not done, or it will help your grade at the end, or I may even give you a lot of pod points for every single member having this done. Repeat, every member in your pod must have this navigation acts doc complete to receive 100 pod points. Yes, you heard me right. 100 pod points. Next, we're not going to do the simulation today, obviously, again, because I'm not here. So we will do that either tomorrow or Friday. It should only take about maybe 20 minutes. And then from there, hopefully you guys have a better understanding of the navigation acts. We'll do check yourself either Thursday or Friday. And that's that. So when you're done with the Navigation Acts document, please move on to the Proclamation of 1763. So if you're not done with the Navigation Acts, you can pause right now, go to the doc, finish, and then come back. If you are done with the Navigation Acts, here's what you're going to be doing. So first, you need to click on the Gale link to Proclamation of 1763. Throughout this, I was taking notes. I used highlights. It's the best option. And this is the information that I came up with. I exported it. I renamed it Proclamation of 1763, so I knew exactly where to look. Here's the information I found regarding the proclamation. I even pasted the picture because guess what? We're going to draw a picture. So you should have a map with you right now. I'm going to go over what I did. You can either do a very similar idea of what I drew, or you may do something completely different. However you're going to do it, please make sure you represent the Proclamation of 1763. Now, because I am giving you this drawing, if your drawing looks exactly like my drawing, I'm going to ask to see your highlights or notes from this reading. You are not just copying my doc. You actually still have to read, find your own text, and then create your own map. Okay? Again, if I see you copied my map completely and you have no notes to back it up, this isn't going to count. This is going to affect your overall unit grade. Okay? So, taking my notes, this is the map I created. I labeled it Proclamation of 1763. I drew the proclamation line right here, and I received that from the image that I pasted. Okay. The reason this act was passed was, one, to avoid more wars with Native Americans. Parliament thought it was necessary to prevent the colonists from getting into another war with Native Americans because it cost money. They were afraid that if the colonists had more rain to expand, that they would be running into the Spanish and the French, and they'd be establishing ties with them. The British were terrified that their own colonies would possibly start better relationships with another country. And then thirdly, they wanted to prevent the colonies from being independent of themselves, Great Britain. They wanted the colonies to be dependent because the colonies would purchase British products and vice versa. So those were the three main reasons why this act was passed. And along with passing the act, they also sent over 10,000 soldiers to help maintain any peace amongst the colonists regarding this proclamation. And guess what? This money didn't come out of Parliament's pocket or anybody that was living in Great Britain. It was directly from taxes from the colonists, okay, to pay for those soldiers that are basically maintaining the peace, quotes, right? And these were taxes that the colonists will have to pay. And those specific taxes came from the Sugar Act, Currency Act, and Stamp Act to help pay for those soldiers that are now maintaining the peace. So that's obviously going to lead to major issues between the colonists and Parliament. And then, so the colonists' reaction, number one, they were already in debt, so they were pretty upset with The idea that they did help pay for the last war. Wars are costly. Everyone seems to end on the negative side when it comes to money after wars. So not only was Parliament in debt, so were the colonists. And they also thought that before this proclamation, the Navigation Acts that the Parliament passed hurt their economy because it limited their trade, right? The only people that really benefited from the Navigation Acts was Great Britain itself, Parliament. The colonists weren't able to trade freely, which would help reduce prices. So that also hurt their economy. So with all of that, I'm able to illustrate the Proclamation of 1763. So yours should be somewhat similar to mine, not exact, or maybe if it is, you better, again, show me your notes, highlights from the Gale website, because I still need you to read that and make sure you have this information like me, okay? And so from there, if you do finish early and you want to move on, take a look at our taxes. Take a look at our taxes. I have created a link here underneath in classroom link. This will tell you which tax to work on. Each pod is designated a tax. So you do need to answer these questions, and then you're going to have to find out how you're going to teach it. So you need to figure out what you want to do. And again, that's only if you have time. If you don't have time, we will be doing the taxes in class on Thursday or Friday. Okay. So you have plenty to work on today. And if you finish all of that, which I don't think is possible, but maybe you can, start working on Google 20 or your word debate that we will be working on at the end of the unit. All right, so you have plenty to work on. If you have any questions, shoot me an email and I will help you. But make sure you grab a map so you can draw the Proclamation of 1763. Again, I will be checking your classroom doc for the Navigation Act. They will be checked tomorrow. In order to receive 100 pod points, your pod, every single person in your pod must have this doc done. Okay? And then when you're done with that, move on to the Proclamation of 1763. The proclamation should also be finished by tomorrow. So you will have homework if you don't finish the Navigation Acts and or the Proclamation of 1763. If you have both of those done, then you're good. And if for some reason, guys, you don't want to draw the proclamation, use Google My Maps. That's fine. Same concept, right? But you do need to make sure these two tasks are done by Thursday. I will be checking them. Okay. Again, if you have any questions, please send me an email. All right. Thank you.